father said, you teaching, you gonna teach the people that's A like you. What the fuck you coming around us teaching us that we the original man? We already know that. So, you know, and I use that as an example with my man Supreme Understanding down in Atlanta. You wrote all these books, everything else. How many motherfucking East Indians or whatever the fuck you brought to the rap?
No.
I know when I was younger, if a power rule got taught, next thing you know, he bring a bunch of fucking power rules with him to the rap.
Yeah.
They got this shit all twisted. But you want to tell me this, tell me that. Yo, let me see your works. You ain't got no works to show for what you saying. Wisdom without no application don't mean nothing. We grown ass fucking men. What I would need you to say, you gotta still teach me lessons at this stage in my life. I don't need to be around this. Cause this shit is walking and talking. Any of that other shit is just, you just running your mouth. For what? Wasting time. So now we sit here with all these young cats that get on, you want to say, oh, it ain't no refinement and power. How did you get it? Don't tell me about, firstborn Prince said this. He got it the way he got it. Them brothers got it bit by bit. And even in those times, other brothers was taking advantage of other brothers because y'all know, y'all was around. If he had the lessons and you had to get it from him one bit at a time, then that's what it was. Until you ran into somebody else, or like he said, when his father came home and he got the whole 120 and went up there to Mayor Lindsay and them and got all the copies, brought it back to the school. Now brothers can come up and get the whole thing. Because any form of oppression is still oppression. And we know mental oppression is the worst thing. Manipulation, mind games, all this. So you want to sit here and tell me that, but yet you don't even understand your power. Because if you got power and your power is not refined, then it's going to be out of control. You know, just like we say power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So if an individual becomes a dictator, which means that only his thoughts and actions is how everything should be done, then quite obvious you're not going to control things justly. Because I got to have your input, his input, you know, the queen input. That's what makes us a family. You know, the universal flag to me, man, woman, and child. If I'm not doing something right by my children and my woman, then how can I say that I extend myself to others by being a father, but I'm not a father to none of my children first? I can't be the father of civilization if I'm doing the greatest creation in the universe, which is producing arm, leg, arm, head. This is why nobody they can't get around that right there. That's why our laws is said, our law in all languages. God is a Greek Greco word. You know, it could be Dios in Spanish, Jah in Rastafarianism, Dios. You know what I'm saying? Whatever way you want to. Well, law brought God, but God don't, you know, that you could be extremist. That's why a lot of us get caught up on substance abuse and different things like that, because we want to say, oh, I'm God, I master everything. No, you don't. I know certain things that I don't even want to experiment with to even say, yo, that I master it. When I already got examples before me. Like now, Lord used to say when we was young, we always say, oh, experience is the best teacher. No, it's not. Because if I know something is going to cause these type of terrible consequences for you, and I'm saying, yo, God, this is what's going to happen. If you keep driving down that street, there's a dead end, there's a wall, and and you're going to crash into that wall. This is known fact, because everybody that went down the street driving 90 miles an hour, they crashed into the wall. So why do you need to experience that? Only a fool would want to experience something that's going to be wrong or could be fatal. Because if you telling me this is something that's going to, oh God, you know, like you tell the babies, oh, don't drink this cleaning product, because if you drink that cleaning product, we know that cleaning product got poison that's in it, that's going to make your body react in a negative way. Urination, excretion. We can't go to the bathroom and that's H2O, but you can't go in the toilet and get a cup of that and just drink it. You might could boil it under extreme, you know, measures and take a chance. But at the end of the day, that's the waste that's coming out. Same way we could be vegan, we could be this, we could be that. But at the end of the day, anything that you take in, it got to come out. And you want to take in things that come out just as quick as it went in. Right. Because the more things that you intake in your body that causes you to have to digest it or anything else, that's the more ability of germs, diseases, or whatever to be able to linger on. Just like a brother before I even got knowledge, Rasta T. I was 12 years old. And he was like, yo, we ain't supposed to eat swine, brother, this, that, and the third. And we was out in the park. It was about like, it was a real hot day. And he said, I'm gonna show you something. And he sent one brother to the store to get a piece of pork. And he sent another brother to get some alcohol. And he took it, you know, the sandboxes we had in there, and he took the pork and put it in the sandbox, and he poured the alcohol on it, and the sun was beaming directly down when we were sitting back on the benches with, you know, the shade of the tree, but the sun was able to hit that directly. And we sat there and sat there and sat there. It might took about maybe an hour or so, but eventually I seen the little white maggots coming out the meat. Now maybe, you know, you get older, you understand about, you know, preservatives and different things like that, but you know, even human nature, we need some of those in our body. But at that time, the first reaction I got to that is, I'm taking off to the crib. Like, I ain't eating no swine no more. I just seen some maggots come out of that swine. You know, knowledge, wisdom. 2 years after that, I got knowledge, so it wasn't really by that time that hard for me to come off with the swine, because I done already basically left the swine alone. Like, it might have been things like, of course, when you get knowledge from the vegetable shortness to the shortness, I had that confused for a minute, and I went in there and got something. I came up to the store, and God was like, yo, that swine, you got shortness, you know? And then I began to understand the difference between vegetable shortness and shortness. But in the same token, we all young children, you know, teenagers growing up with this. As opposed to now, you know, the majority of the individuals that you teaching is grown folk. The children, they're the last ones who want to hear something that's the truth. It ain't going on in the nation, it's going on in the churches, it's going on in the synagogue, it's going on everywhere. They even take a poll and they say how many people is religious in America compared to how many people was religious before. We know that basically they're dealing with the white Anglo-Saxon, you know, Protestants, Christian, count head, and everything else. And even they is not believing in that to that degree. You know, they only really use religion nowadays when it serves a purpose for them. You know, that's why they want to deal with the whole the Wade and the abortion thing right now, because they see it, you know, naturally. We outnumber them 11-1. And even when those degrees was written back then, they was outnumbering us physically here in North America. We know by far, we've been caught up with that. Matter of fact, they said on the census, it might be going on like 5 years now, that definitely, you know, the brown and the black is outnumbering the Caucasian babies that's being born. And they say in between that and, you know, the mixing, you know, of their people, that right now they have to force. They don't care nothing about abortions with the black and the brown women. They only care about that when it's their woman. So they done took an analysis, and this is coming from, you know, the white supremacists, the so-called educated, because they ain't none of them different. They all got the same mission. It's just they broke it down like ours: doctors, ministers, nurses, and crewmakers. So they all come to agreement that the only way we're going to be able to survive this is that we got to stop our white women from having abortions. That's the only way they're going to get back to 60% of their population still being pure. That's why everything that's in the lessons is 100% right and exact. This is why we renew our history, because ain't nothing changed. Cloning, genetic, you know, modifying, mutation, nothing new underneath the sun. Matter of fact, in my book, I just feel when Bill Gates or this one or that one, like they done came up with some new invention, I just be feeling like this is some more shit that they done hid on the side, and now they families, right. Otherwise, we wouldn't be dealing with the hieroglyphics on the wall, having airplanes and all that. And if any of y'all have not watched this God and Earth, it's a must. It's 3.5 hours. But I guarantee you, after you finish watching it, it breaks down everything to show and prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that we are the original builders of the pyramids with the science, no aliens, no groups of slaves, because it was impossible for slaves to move. We talking about 3,200 tons. Some of those Iblis. How? They couldn't go down, because if you dig down, they didn't have no oxygen masses and nothing. What about the carbon dioxide? So I'm just going to give y'all a little hint, because, I mean, the brother or the individual is from France. It took him 6.5 years to make this documentary. He didn't ask for nothing. He didn't get no support from no government, no nothing. And he drops it all in there. He shows everything that it all comes from us, and that we migrated with that same science throughout the world. Any monuments or anything that you see that's classified as the 8th wonders of the world or anything, it showed us as original people going to those places and doing it. You know, but he breaks it all down. It's called the Great Pyramid Cave, 2019. It even goes as far as they talk about there's a tide that goes directly from Africa to South America to Central America without you needing no navigation. This is why, you know, you see the existence in South America where the pyramids also was built. 2 white dudes built a raft, and it took them 27 days on the raft from that point of Africa to South America with no guidance, no nothing. Just, it's a natural, you know, direction in the water. That if you go that path, you're going to end up over. So the scientists, everything to go back to that was so superior to what they have today. They were showing that with machines, you couldn't even cut those rocks or make those rocks. Because you know rocks is made up of other rocks if you can get them to come together. A granite, you know, different things like that. So they was mixing and everything of all this. How was they able to do these things? So I say once again, you know, if y'all watching, y'all can see. And it's like, you know, it proves beyond the shadow of a doubt with what we talk about. But basically, the knowledge degree in the student enrollment is the whole acceptance to our way of life. And the reason why I say that is because even when the father was in the mosque and everything, once you looked at the knowledge degree, like from that point on, is you really supposed to be believing in a mystery God? Or the messenger is greater than I am? Or Captain so-and-so is greater than I am? They got it there, you know what I'm saying? And once again, certain things are, whether we want to accept it or not, they're symbolic. You know, the captain, the lieutenant, the private soldier, or whatever, yeah, they arrange it like that, but those are all symbolic things. Because everything that you deal with, you're going to have a best knower, or you're going to have those individual or an individual, you know, that's in the position of being the captain. You got the individual that's going to be the lieutenant, the individuals that's going to be the private soldier. And at any given time, you should be able to be in any one of those positions. So this is why we don't need one person as a leader. We have what? Leadership. The same way now, a lot of things that be going on up here, and I was fortunate. I done been up here now for staying in 3 parliaments in a row, here, there, and everything. But the reality is that we have all the resources, but we shut people out. And the reason I know that from going to other states and teaching, you know, how they feel after a while. You got to let the young in. You got to let, this is why we're supposed to have 11 regions. So if we got 11 regions, then why would it not be that those that's most qualified from each region be able to participate? You know, or just like the Lord said, he called me the other night and was talking to me about the board and everything, and how they've been offering individuals to get on the board. And you mean to tell me out of all the people that's here, and now why are coming around, and nobody want to volunteer or nobody want to be a part of it? But as soon as you put other individuals on it, then you'll start hearing all the screaming and hollering, but yet y'all was here all the time and had the opportunity to make it happen, to get yourself involved. But as soon as somebody else go do it, oh, he think he the great God, he this, he that, or you find a reason to have fault because of delivery or whatever. Ain't all the time that the way that it's delivered, that should take away from the message. Because, you know, anybody can come and deliver it to you. If a wino come and he stop you and he deliver a jewel to you, are you supposed to not accept the jewel because he was a wino? A jewel is a jewel. But are we going to use it? So that always be my concept is, anytime we dealing with separation, we allowing the devil to live. Because the only way we're strong is when we all come together. And what we're saying right now is supposed to be a bunch of, you know, teenagers or whatever. But that's not their job. their job is to create as many things as they possibly can to keep them from being who they're supposed to be. That's why they let the music get out of control. When did we grow up? Well, we grew up listening to the music that made you want to procreate. We say baby making music. You know what I'm saying? Music calms the savage beats, but also music can increase the beats depending on what the beast is listening to. So you turn around now and you make the only way that you can be hot with your music is that if you say you killed somebody, that you actually went out there and killed them. But now that's music? It's not. Prior to that, individuals, they were just around other individuals and they gave off the expression of all those things that was taking a place around them. Now they are creating these individuals to actually go out and do these things. So now what they saying? They ain't saying they God. They saying we demons. They saying we demons. I'm breaking down that YSL thing and I'm listening to this dude, Young Thug, and he broke the whole thing down. I didn't even see the YSL with the snakes and everything. Like he said, I want to be a snake because the snake is on the ground. He said, I know they come through and they mow it. He said, but yo, the snake is on the ground. I like everything closer that I can touch. And this is how they relating themselves until they end up once again in the position that they in. We let you all achieve all this money and everything else, and y'all been running around for so-called 10 years. Matter of fact, they knew about Young Thug since he was like 14, 15 years old. Because of where he was raised. And like he said, they called it Little Haiti. Anywhere where there's poverty is going to be crime. Because everybody got to do what they got to do what? Survive. I'm a different type of individual if you put me in those environments. Because I'm going to adapt. And my adaptation does not make me the prey. My adaptation makes me the predator. Even if I got to be the predator to change things. Few of us, a lot of us here that dealt with incarceration. If you go amongst